And I had so much documents coming from the ancient world on where the white man was the doggone biological mutation. Now, the archaeological and anthropological evidence is at the temple of Seti I in Egypt, and at the tomb of Biblium El Manuk, which is the tomb of Ramesses V, where on the temple walls they tell you that the white boy, which was the Tamahu, Tama which means created, and Hu which means white, which is the lighter part of another Hu that means black, but Tamahu which means the created white people. It goes at the bottom of the temple and says what? That the Nessi, which is the ancient black man, and the Ruti, which is the ancient black man, created the Tamahu. We got another picture in 1989. They had completely torn down the temple and removed the bas-reliefs. But you can find the actual information on that in Diop's book, African Origins of Civilization, Myth and Reality.
Of the world. Our ancient ancestors in Hamid, who are Bantus and who were Bantus, were aware of the theory of the origin of other people that were not melanin dominant. They gave them a name. The ancient Hamitians worried about an immigrant tribe of blue-eyed people, among them that seemed to have proclivity for troublemaking. They had red or blonde hair and blue eyes and lived at the edge of the desert. The Egyptians called them Tamahu. The Hamitians called them Tamahu, the created ones. Clear allusion to their unnatural origins. And we now know from science who these people are. Bantu albino theory. We know definitely that the Hamitians, people of ancient Hamit, consider the Great Lakes, a region of Southeast Africa, to be a sacred holy land, Quiland, Southeast Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, the Congo, Rwanda, Malawi, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Botswana, Namibia, Angola. The Democratic Republic of the Congo was their homeland. And from that, yeah, that's where they came. That's why they picture themselves like this, and like that. These are Kamitians, and these are the other created people. Herodotus on Kolkis. This is the place which we have identified as the same as Patmos, as well as the same as Kokosia. He says the Kokians, described by Herodotus, look like ancient Hamitians, black, Africoid, melanin dominant, who were left there by King Sesostris, the second king. And therefore, the Caucasians was dominated initially by the black Caucasians that we have shown. And that's the proof that we are giving here. Now, we look at the story of Yaqub as promulgated by the Nation of Islam. About Yaqub, whom we are told created another race at Patmos, the same place that we know as Kolkis. Therefore, the leaders of the Nation of Islam must have accessed this information and promulgated it as revealed knowledge. But we know that it predates them. The explanation given about Patmos and also given about Kolkis by Herodotus and also shown by Champollion among us ancient Hamitians, which is a Bantu version, is clear. And the Tamahu is very clear that they looked like this. But they came from somewhere. Power is hidden in true knowledge. That's why we are assembling the theories of European origins. We find here Hamitians and Africans represented in the same way, which could not be otherwise if they were different. You know, the Hamitians were very racial conscious, race conscious. The Namo, who are the Asians, they play a prominent role in the coming up of the Tamahu.